Oh, what's poppin'? Brand new look, just hopped in. What's up, people? We got a brand new album by Jack Harlow, and it's titled Jackman. Now, this is Jack Harlow's third studio album, and it's titled Jackman. Well, his first name is Jackman, so I guess you can say that this is a self-titled album, technically. He announced this album 2 days prior to the release, and it features 10 songs, no features. But at the same time, it do have a list of writers and producers, so it's not solo by any means. But you gotta give this man credit where it's due, because, you know, at the end of the day, there's no features. And compared to his last album, he had a long list of features, a long list of songs, and this is taking a different approach. But I gotta give my man Jack Harlow his props. I'm not necessarily the biggest Jack Harlow fan, but at the same time, I mean, this guy has been very successful throughout his career. Taking it back to his previous albums, Come Home, the Kids Miss You, I mean, the album itself charted #3 on the Billboard 200s. It had multiple hits like Nail Tech, Dua Lipa, and First Class, which was a Hot 100 charter. And then going back to his 2020 debut, that's what y'all say. I mean, of course, he had songs like What's Poppin', and then my favorite song, Same God, with that bass line, like, dude killed it. The thing I didn't really like about the Come Home, the Kids Miss You album, I don't know, it just felt like it was more of like a mainstream feel. It gave me a little bit more Drake vibes rather than like a Who's Jack Harlow vibe, but that's just me. Now he's about to be in the White Man Can't Jump reboot. I'm actually very excited about that. You know, sometimes you can't really remake a classic movie, but at the same time, I'm very optimistic because they remade the House Party movie that was not that bad. So, you know, this could take that similar approach. I'm not expecting him to be the best actor in the world, but at the same time, man, it should still have that same feel of the original movie. But nevertheless, let's get into it. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, like this video, and let me know in the comment section what's your favorite Jack Harlow song. Let's get to it.
The suburbs are filled with ebonics and trap sonics. Frat boys saying no cap, put racks on it. The N-word, business interns taking Molly them perks, trampling on top of bodies and dirt. Condescending suburban kids growing up to be rap journalists, writing urban myths about who they think is the best.
So first off, the beat was phenomenal. You know, any type of like song that has like a, you know, some type of sample that's involved with the beat, I personally love it. I mean, it just gives it that original 90s type feel that I love. I like that Kanye feel with the production. Even though they do a little bit crazy right now, but you know, we're gonna reminisce on the good times with Kanye. I kind of like the direction they took it with, you know, how there's like a divide between a white suburban children and a black kid growing up from like a, you know, more poor situation, but how their paths can ultimately come together. It talks about the misuse of the N-word and how eventually the suburban children end up getting into a situation where they're reporting on urban culture. It is interesting because at the end of the day, you know, that is a problem, you know, and I'm glad that he brought it to an awareness. I'm sure there's people that know, but at the same time, it's sad because people may not know this. You would think that those who have grew up in the more, you know, urban situations with not as much financial support, they would be in those positions where they can, you know, report on that type of culture and talk about that and expand on that. But in reality, that's not how America works, which is very sad. But nevertheless, very great introduction, man. I'm curious to see, you know, what he ends up talking about throughout the entire album. With that being the first topic, you know, I'm curious to see if he's going to keep addressing these type of topics, or is he going to kind of take an approach where he did with his last album and kind of make a lot of like mainstream songs, or take more of the more personal approach and you know, allow you to think about more things. So nevertheless, I like the first track.
Shaping my beard up, I'm liking the scruff. And fuck the hills, cause I'm living my life in the cut.
He's going again with the other sample. I told you, like, if there's a classic sample or some type of sample in a hip-hop beat or hip-hop song, it's gonna just capture me in the heart. Like, it's gonna grab me, it's gonna hold me there for a long time.
Never the hardest white boy since the one who rapped about vomiting sweaters and hold the comments, cause I promise you I'm...
Wait, well, he said he's the best white rapper since the guy who rapped about the vomits and sweater. Now, when I think of white rappers, I automatically think of Eminem. You know, he can't be talking about Macklemore. I mean, if he's talking about Macklemore, I'll be highly surprised. Confirm that in the comments for me, man. Is he talking about Eminem? He's talking about someone else? Let me know, cause you know, I need to know this.
I've been laid back so long, I'm trying to get turned. Fuck searching my name, dog. That's how you get hurt.
Ooh, he came with a two-piece. He came with a two-piece, man. Common Ground was good, but They Don't Love It was even better. I like that one in particular because at the end of the day, simple hook, but it kind of, you know, it's the reasons why I respect Jack Harlow for the way I respect him. Like, you know, the dude grinds, and you know, his success shows for itself. He got hits on top of hits. He's appearing in movies now. He has brand partnerships. And in the song, he talks about, hey, you know, people talk about how they want it, but, you know, they don't put the work in. And basically, this is him saying, hey, look, I have sleepless nights. I'm over here grinding every day and night, and I actually want it, and I'm going to achieve higher and bigger things. And, you know, with a song like They Don't Love It and Common Grounds, you know, I can see it taking more of like the Vince Staples album approach, where it just feels organic, and this is kind of how the album is kind of taking it, you know. So I like where this album is going.
Ambitious 14-year-old, grades going down as I'm stacking up zeros, but not the.
Oh man, that transition was hard, and the beat is continuing with the sample joint, man. Okay.
Ambitious 19-year-old, I just signed a deal, now my next Sub-Zero.
Alright, man, this is like his come up story. I really do love his flow and delivery. The end of the song kind of gave me a little bit of like Lil Wayne vibes, a little bit, the way he was flowing. And it also made me think, like, there's not a lot of artists who can just go on a track and just have one track where he's like just flowing and rapping. Like, there's not a lot of artists that can do that. You know, there's either like some ad-libs or some type of layers or dubs that's included. But he's shown with these first 3 tracks that, hey, nah, this give me a beat with a cool ass sample and let me ride on it. And you know, he's been riding. I gotta give him his props and credit where it's due.
No airports and no flights, this is how I wanna live my life, is that alright? 10 girlfriends and no time to times now. Stop waiting for the inspiration. They say it's a flaw being impatient, but
wow.
Cole, you stupid.
I love Hollywood Cole, man. I love Hollywood Cole. You know, the more and more this album going on, it just gives me like heavy Kenny Beats production vibes, which is why I said the Vince Staples thing earlier. Which was a very, you know, sample heavy, instrumental based album. That was my favorite song. Is That Alright was great. I thought the flow and the groove was cool. I thought the beat was phenomenal. I even loved the vocal chopping and the sample. Gave it like a heavy church feel with the harmonies in the background with the sample. The drums just kind of just ride it with the and the piano going on in the background. Ooh, I personally love songs where he just talks about like, hey, this is what I want. It's simple. Like, this is how I want to live my life, and I dig it.
yes, that Marcus, he's got 7 rape charges. Ride for my dogs, lie for my dogs.
Wait a minute, 7 rape charges? That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. 7 rape charges. Oh my gosh.
Pictures with him turned to ad campaigns. You gotta pull it. Feet held to the fire. We hold.
I like the way he did this. He went at the end of it and talks about how you should hold your friends accountable for those type of actions, which I completely agree. And it makes it easy to make the decision of whether or not you should support that friend. At first, I wasn't a huge fan of the way it begun because I was kind of confused with the first 2 verses. Like, he went into the stories of the 2 friends, and at first I was like, wait, are you still supporting those people who do this type of thing? But then again, I started to like it because the way he concluded it, and maybe that's what he wanted. Maybe that was his intention, to dig into, hey, as the listener, why are you supporting this guy? Like, what do you mean? Like, because maybe that's how he felt throughout the process of his friendships. So I dig it, man. I like how there's a correlation between the sample, the distortion. It makes you think, it makes you question, and I think that's exactly what he wanted in the song.
Been through some local tension, heard talks of a healthy bounding. Sober and focused, I cannot walk down no deli alleys.
The beat was solid. It's just, you know, it in comparison to the other ones, it didn't really do it like from a production standpoint nor a lyricism standpoint. So I'm gonna have to like re-listen to that one.
She don't need no enhancers. She don't need no enhancers. And my baby, she a natural. She don't need no enhancers.
No enhancers. Show me no answer, man. Catchy hook. I love the hook. You know, I even like the theme of the song. You know, it's talking about a girl with no enhancers. Some girl that's like, you know, just natural. Some girl that's beautiful. You know, I think that the hook did very well with the sample, the voice chop in the background, which was phenomenal. I was vibing the entire time, so I think that's something that I would definitely go back to, and I wouldn't mind coming back to when it comes to like just re-listening to the album as well.
So I guess it must be my skin. I can't think of any other reason I win. I can't think of an explanation.
I like that one because he addressed, well, the reason why I'm successful is because of my skin. And I know a guy like Jack Harlow, you know, gets a lot of criticism because of that. But he also makes the people aware at the same time, hey, look, I had the same friends since day one. You know, I've been in the studio, I've been grinding, I didn't leave early, I stayed late. Like, I'm here for a reason. I put the work in too. Can you see that other side as well?
If I love her, why am I so flawed? Why am I so skeptical? I wanna be more than just a random. What if all these people in my life go Danny Phantom?
Wow. So you end the song with, you end the album off with questions to ask himself. Personally, I really did enjoy this album. And the reason why I enjoyed this so much was because in comparison to his last album, it just felt very mainstream to me. I'm not the hugest when it comes to like more of the mainstream feeling albums, like as in like hit after hit after hit. You know, you can tell this is a radio song, you can tell this is a TikTok song, you can tell this is just catchy, it don't really move me. But a lot of these songs, it has the simplicity of some of the previous albums, but at the same time, it's done in a way where it's like, it kind of displays his artistry a lot more in my opinion. Of course, I you know, when it comes to a production standpoint, it's hitting my, you know, my preference 100%. It got the samples in there, it got the hip hop vibes, stayed on the hip hop route throughout the entire album. Kind of gives me like a little bit of the Kenny Beats, Kanye West, Vince Staples album type feel to the project, which I do love. And I like how he takes the approach of not having no features, which makes it feel as if it's 100% his direction, 100% his like artistry, 100% his like approach, rather than like a label backing his album. I am very impressed. I did not expect to hear something like this from Jack Harlow. I definitely will be listening again, and I see why. You know, he titled it Jackman because it has that very personal approach. It has very personal stories, talking about the friends, talking about his family, talking about the whys. He addressed it what everyone knows about the situation of him being white as an artist in the industry and how that's popularized of the reason why he's very successful. So I like him addressing it. I don't like how people would not do that, and he exactly did that even with the first song, Common Ground. And even though that's more of a broader approach, it kind of leads you to songs like Blame It On Me. So hands down, very impressed. I'm definitely excited for Jack Harlow's artistry now moving forward. And I will be having this album on repeat. So it's a thumbs up for me. So let me know in the comment section how y'all felt about the album. Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned to more videos. Until then, your only limitations are those of your own mind. Master Steve out.